Hey y'all, welcome to the Bedroom Spice Unfiltered, where we talk about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We talk about everything, raw and uncut, right? This is your girl, Deshawn. So listen, this topic that we're going to talk about is called Marriage Gets Boring When You Stop Doing This. Now, this is something like a lot of people don't like to admit, and that is marriage can get boring, right? That sounds crazy to say because people always want to present marriage as if it's this fairy tale or if it's a love ending story where there's nothing bad that happens, or they just all lovey-dovey, no issues, no anything, right? But if we're being honest, real relationships do go through different phases. Sometimes the boredom that people feel in marriage is not um, because they fell out of love. It could be they stopped doing things in the beginning, right? That they stopped doing things now that they used to do in the beginning. And when that disappears, it's like the relationship starts to feel different. You always got to keep that spark in that marriage. You always got to keep those flames going. Like whatever you started in the beginning, you just got to keep doing that throughout your marriage. Because if not, that's where the boredom sets in at. Now, a lot of marriages don't get boring because they stopped loving each other. They get boring because people stop doing things such as dating each other, right? Because that's what we tend to do when we're just meeting somebody or when we want to get to know somebody, right? That's really what it comes down to. So it's like the effort that existed in the beginning that slowly fades over time. And once that effort disappears, the excitement goes with it. And that's where your boredom kicks in at. Now, what I want y'all to do is like think about the beginning of a relationship. Like when you first started to talk to somebody, everything felt intentional. You were planning things, you were dressing up, you were complimenting each other, flirting, you were excited to see that person. Even the small things felt meaningful, right? Even like a simple dinner felt like an experience. When that person sends you a text like good morning beautiful or have a good day or things like that, that put a smile on your face. You were curious about that person. It's like you wanted to know everything about that person. But after years together, years and years and years together, it's like life gets busy. We have responsibilities, we have work, we have bills, we have kids, stress. All of that tends to get in the way. And then slowly over time, without realizing it, the relationship stops feeling like something, you're nurturing. It starts to feel like something that you're managing. A lot of couples, they just stop being intentional. So it's like no more planned dates, or that spontaneous affection goes away. It's no more playful energy, no more trying to impress each other. You're just walking out the house any type of way, right? It's like you don't care anymore. So it just starts to become a routine. It's like you see each other every day, but you feel less connected. That's when people start saying things like something just feels off or something just feels different. It's just not the same as when we first met. Now, I've seen couples too who genuinely love each other, right? But they stop prioritizing the relationship. They still care about each other and they still support each other, but the spark that made them feel excited when they first met each other is not there. It's not there anymore because it slowly disappeared because nobody was feeding into that anymore. So it's the attraction, the attention, the intimacy, all those things, they don't survive without putting in that effort. People don't realize that comfort, like when you get comfortable in a relationship, that could be dangerous. And I'm not talking about bad comfort, but too much comfort. When it starts to feel like they no longer have to try, or you no longer have to try in that relationship, when the compliments stop, when the flirting stops, when appreciation is rare, or when you stop doing little things that remind your partner they still desire, that's when that boredom starts to creep in. Now, another thing that happens in long relationships is people assume that they just know everything about their partner. So you no longer become curious. Curiosity is a huge part of connection, though. So in the beginning, we ask questions like, what's your favorite color? Or what's your favorite thing to do? Your favorite foods? Where do you like to go? What are your hobbies? And we listen because we're trying to get to know that person, right? But years and years later, people stop asking. It's like you feel like you know enough about that partner that you're no longer trying to ask questions to know more, just more about that person. So you no longer become curious. And that's when that emotional distance starts to grow. Marriage doesn't get boring over time, right? I mean, it doesn't get boring because of time. Marriage gets, because you could always keep that spark in your marriage. You could always keep the flames. You could always keep it exciting. But marriage does start to get boring when you no longer try. When that effort disappears, that's when that marriage starts to get boring. Couples that usually stay connected, they keep doing small things consistently. Like they still go on dates. They still flirt with each other. They still compliment each other. They still make each other feel attractive. They still show appreciation for the little things. And it's not because they're forced to do it. It's because they understand that relationships need maintenance, just like with anything that's valuable in life. So I am curious. I want to know, like, when was the last time you actually dated your partner? And I'm not just talking about eating dinner together because you live together. I'm talking about real effort, real attention, real intention. Because a lot of relationships don't end because the love disappeared. They end because that effort disappeared. So let me ask you, do marriages really get boring? Or do people just give up and they stop trying? Let me know. Y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know. Let's talk about it. There's no right or wrong answers. I just want to know. Um, if you have been tuning in, thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys also subscribe because we have plenty more topics to talk about. So make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Y'all pass the word on to somebody who needs to hear this. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.